Good morning. Okay. Hey, Nick. Good morning. Just looking at the some of the handiwork here. Yeah, I did a really nice job describing them. Not gonna lie. Perfect? No. Good? Yeah. Peter. Good morning. Long time no see. Yeah, still waking up. Yeah, I hear you on that. Sort of in that same position. Went upstairs after the meeting last night. So last night was our Patriot Zoom meeting. I went upstairs after we wrapped up here. Just did a little bit of cleanup work. Starting the dishes kind of stuff, and then sat down for a bit, watched a little bit of news and stuff, and then just crawled into bed. But fell asleep pretty fast after that, though, which is good. All right. So what do we got? We are going to test the waters here again with some of these parts. I don't want to fuck with that. All right. So a couple things. Last night while we were on our Zoom meeting, I did get these suspension bits done. So in terms of how do they look okay. The difference in the brass, the different sizes, the tube and the rod itself are not great, especially when you consider like what's going on the front side. And again, I could have resculpted this. I just don't want to do that. I just didn't want to go that far. See if I can get focused. White seems to have a really hard time focusing, I would say. Look at that. It's right up against the camera. Let's pull back. Maybe it's because my glorious face is in the way. Fuck it. Anyway, so there are some suspension bits kind of molded into the plastic here in the front. and they're of course a better scale and everything like that. So are they the same? The one thing is the pistons are upside, or I don't know if you want to call it upside down. They're facing a different way on this side. Yeah, the same problem. That's why I showed photos. Yeah. Good morning, beautiful space noise. Good morning, beautiful Joe. How are you? Yeah, it is what it is with the camera. And like I said, I'm at some point I will update my camera. I'm not going to go out of my way to do it right now, and I apologize because I know it's hard to do a show the work if you can't see the work, right? The camera won't pick up the work. But in any case, that is what we have in terms of the suspension-y bits. So those are carved in. And what I did last night on the backside was basically, let's see if we can actually get this. This one we kind of need to show. Just blinding myself with that fucking light. I'm doing well. How's the chat? How are you? The coffee must flow. The coffee must flow. We're starting right now. We've only been on for a little bit, Joe. So yeah, I just started like I don't know, 5 minutes ago. Let's see if I get this thing to focus. I am going to get this thing to fucking focus, even if I have to do this. Let's try that. There we go. Turned off the light. That might help. There's actually a piece now mounted on the back there. There it goes. So I carved out a piece last night. That'll go on the ankle part right there. Shaped it so it kind of looks like it's kind of sliding inside. So it almost gives it a bit of a look like this part might slide back and forth. The ankle itself looks like it could just kind of slide back and forth, which I'm totally fine with. In fact, the shape of it looks pretty good. I'm going to pop this all together now. Let's get this light back on. There we go. It looks okay. Let's put it this way. It looks better than having the ability to just see an idiotic ball joint, right? Ready for a close-up, Mr. DeVille? Yeah. Now, the hard part is now trying to put all of this together in such a way that doesn't break. That was wild. That was the washer making a chunky sound. All right, I got those things glued into place. Let's get... There we go. And there's our general shape, right? We got the ankle kind of at a pretty extreme angle. It's kind of what I wanted it to do. So that's what it looks like with everything kind of fit inside. Now there's a little gap on the side there, which I'm actually thinking might not be too bad. It almost gives it a bit of if that part floats, it's almost like a cover that kind of floats to protect the pistons. Let's see if I can get, there it goes again. There we go. Sorry, guys. So that's what we have. So I'm digging the way this came out. Yeah, actually, I'm really digging it. So I haven't fully decided. I might just kind of leave it kind of like maybe I put some kind of side pieces on, just a little bit of filler there. I may not. Looking good. Has the mecha cover plating going for it. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. It's just to kind of, if you're going to have suspension bits back there, particularly with the ankle at that kind of an extreme, it's going to be exposing some of those piston bits. But when the foot kind of comes down more flat, that cover will come over it, so it'll protect those suspension bits. In the same way that this piece here, this sort of ankle cover, is supposed to do that with the front suspension bits, the ones that you guys can't see because my fucking camera can't focus on anything that's so fucking white. Let's see. You can actually start to see the general shapes there, right? It is wild that the camera does not like when you get flared white. It's like it will not focus. You see my calluses. So, not many of them. Got a few. Like a heavy armor. Yeah, that's kind of what it's looking to do. I mean, look, anything that's this is the one thing about, these mechs that's always been kind of crazy. It's like when you think about like the armor and stuff that goes around, it's there to just kind of protect some of the internal gearing, right? That's all it's supposed to be. And in fact, I'm going to take a guess and say, if you take a look at and I know I'm talking about something that doesn't exist in real life, but any of the mechanics underneath the armor, it's probably all the same across every robot. It's the only difference is how you plate it. Now, that might not be 100% true, but generally you'd like to think that that's kind of what it is. All right, so we got that done. So this ankle guard here. So I was debating cutting back on the pins because as this thing comes off to get painted or it's mostly just primed, if I hack them back, then I can more easily put it on afterward. The only downside to that is that if we take a look at this side here, I'll pop this foot off. Those things kind of do a nice job of kind of filling in the pins for the ankle guard. There it goes. Do a really nice job of kind of filling in that gap. If I pull them back, I'm going to just kind of pry it out real quickly. I think it'll look a little, I don't know. Is anybody going to really see? I'll know, I guess. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to trim them back a little bit just to make it easier to put the part on, or if I'm going to leave it be and then just slap it in later. It'll probably scratch plastic and you're going to have to do some paint repair. My gut tells me I'm going to probably leave it be and not cut it back. Notice which is enough. Yeah. And that's kind of how it is, isn't it? If I know it's there, it's there. So, okay. Just got to hit a coffee going. Let's get this other foot kind of I'm going to put it on permanently because we're going to probably work on the other foot today too. Anyway, before we get too far, good morning, everyone. I'm hoping everybody had a good Friday. I'm hoping, make sure we got everything going still. Hoping everybody had a good Friday. Hoping everybody's got a fun weekend planned. Anybody got anything special going on this weekend? Excuse me. With the quantum. On me with the site, with the slit experiment, noticing moments of atoms change the outcome. Oh, really, Joe? Yeah, I guess you're right. I work today. Nick, really? That sucks. No, should be quiet. Pete, I love it. Peter, that's great, man. So so Nick, how long are you going to be working today? And by the by, any word on the future? Joe's going to go see the Blue Angels today. Yeah, nice. Joe, I'm assuming you're taking your family with you, or are you going solo? All right, let's see what we're going to do next up. I'm happy with that. I got that piece plated. Let's just do a little bit of cleanup in here. Probably like 5-6 hours. Yeah. Nick, are you? I'm assuming you're on the clock, and do you get overtime for this? Just walking out the house. Joe, I'm just gonna walk out. I'm gonna take me where my good feet decide to take me. Anybody wants to follow, good for them. Well, around is just around the corner. Nice. I'm Saturday and I get Monday off. All right, so it's sort of like a trade type of thing then. You work Saturday, you don't have to work Monday. Richie, good morning. What's going on, brother? Okay. It is interesting looking at a lot of this, like looking at the shape of this thing and how cool it looks. But the closer you get, the more you try to make it look like, okay, what would this thing look like in 1-to-1? I think it would be fucking massive. And it scale wise, it just doesn't work. It is what it is. Yeah. Plus, most weeks I never even hit 40 hours, really. But you get paid for 40? Wow. Love it. How's and by the way, how's the job search going? Any word anywhere? Nothing. Just waking up, went to bed a little late, so I'm kind of out of whack this morning. Oh yeah. Dude, it's like, well, going to bed, what's the problem? But I guess what time are you up normally for work? Some like obscene hour. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I wake up just a little after 5 o'clock. It depends. Like most mornings, it'll be somewhere between 5 and 5:30, closer to 5:30. I at 4 o'clock every morning. Oh fuck me. Oof. Yuck. Yuck. That's all I'm gonna say. Yuck. Have you seen a house mover? I have not. No, I take it back. Well, yes, but no. If I get this fucking thing on again. I'm doing this thing. I probably could do it a lot easier if I didn't have the ankle secured to the foot. There we go. Just says they are reviewing all applications when I check back. It's also building a customizing tool for like 6 hours. Building and customizing too for like 6 hours. Really nice. So that can do it too. Yeah, I'm sure that's like takes up a lot of time, and it's that kind of effort, particularly if you're doing some kind of like heavy work. Yeah, it can take up time, no question. It could take up energy. Excuse me. I'll send you a pickup one. Okay, sounds good. Put that up again. Let's get a little bit more detail in the face. All right, let's do an assembly and see where we are at the moment. Let's see if this will actually fit in here. I CA glued those pistons from the bottom, and I think that might have created a little bit of an issue with getting this foot part resecured in here. Yeah, because my anxiety is fine. It could be my sinuses throwing me off. Yeah, Now, a lot of shit going on. Yeah. I'm going to trim back on this part here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, mostly there we go. Okay, what's preventing you from completely sitting in? It's kind of wild. Let's get this foot off. Sorry, guys, give me a second here. There it goes. All right, let's get this thing to all sit in here. Figure out why it's not sitting so well. Funny enough, now it is. Okay. Shouldn't change while putting this thing in like this, but maybe. This is work that requires seeing very up close and personal, so you don't have the pistons go where you don't want them to go. Okay. All right. So we've got a rough position, kind of like how it's going to be standing is sort of like that. Leaning forward just a little, tossing something. That's what the left arm is going to be doing. Right arm will be holding the rifle, kind of supporting itself with the rifle. Left arm will have the shield and tossing the what they call it, the helm, the basically the Zaku heads. A good thing I'm working half day on Tuesday because I'm not working in over 100 weather and don't want to get an anxiety attack. Yeah. Yeah, you spend a lot of time sort of like on the dock. Is that correct? So a little too much time. Yeah, with heat exposure. Yeah. You know, I enjoy the heat. Generally, I don't have a problem with it, but there's something to be said about if it's 100 degrees and you're out there on a regular basis. Yeah, that gets to be a bit much. And is it in the sun, Richie, or do you at least have some shade? I guess in New York City it is. Yeah, just as a precaution, better safe than sorry. Fuck yeah. All right. I'm still not seeing 100%, but I'm guessing my cutting back on some of it didn't help. So long it's been since I've done this. I don't remember how these legs attach to the torso. I think they're in there permanently now. It's mostly inside because I do logistics. Yeah, they gave me another title to add to the other 51. The other 5 I have. So I'm in now. Yeah. Okay. Ain't that the way it works? Torso will be turned just a little bit. Yeah, like that. Okay, I like that position. We're waiting for approval from Japan Village for another build event. Nice. Excuse me. And what is that? How long does it usually take to hear back on that event, Richie? How long before you hear about yes, go, no go? All right, moving up. Good with all that. Good with that. Got that plated. Nothing needs to get done there. Do a little bit of gap filling inside there. Drop in a little bit of styrene in there just to fill a gap. Trying to lie in for Saturday, the July 26th, a day or two. Nice. I like that. Okay, let's get some of this leg shit figured out. I'm gonna take this leg off. That one I don't care about for now. All right, so what we've got real quickly is right up top there. Just that gap is a little too large. So I'm just going to put a piece of styrene in there just to kind of fill it in a little bit more. And then, well, I'll probably end up doing, you can actually see all the work that was done underneath on the backpack. You can see all the putty work, the reshaping. I'm going to barrel out these guys to get the, I don't mind the shape of the schnozzles. They look good enough. I could completely remove them and then just bury another, get a third party or spare part, use it in there. And I still might. We might experiment with that a little bit today. What I'm just so the process that I'm kind of working on. I'm working on one leg. I'm just basically working on moving up and seeing what do I need to do to get this thing to look right. I'm going to work up to the backpack, and then before I get any further around, get to the arms, then I'm going to work on the other leg and get that done. But I'm looking to try to get as much of a contiguous look on this thing, just to see what it's gonna ultimately be, and then replicate on the other side. Does that make sense? We're making a template flyer today so that we are ready to get nice. That's the way it should be. So shit's ready to go. Measure. $5 million. See, I'm in my happy place. I got all my styrene out. 1 by 4.8. Close the fuck enough. I'm in my happy place. Oops. I'll just slot in perfectly. So again, it's one of the nice things about having all this different styrene. Could you do it with a lot less and cut your own strips and everything? Yeah, but I can literally pull out a strip, cut a chunk, drop it in, and I'm done. Like this isn't for storing styrene. I should have thought that. Right now, it's just stuffed in a drawer. Yeah, this has been so originally years ago. Interesting little story. Bill Michaels from our club at Patriot, he had I remember 3D print. He did a maker. He's got a maker space up in New Hampshire, and he did this sort of way of being able to store stuff in like little tubes. I'm like, oh, that's great. It was a fantastic idea. I was looking to replicate that. But when you have literally, I'm not bragging about it because I'm proud of having it because it's been so helpful. Because I literally have every strip of styrene that Evergreen makes. You couldn't do it that way. So being able to put it in an order, clamp it, and then just go through it the way I go through it, it's actually a great way of keeping things contained and at the same time easily accessible. Generally, this has been a terrific addition to managing all this stuff. Otherwise, almost the same thing. It'd be like, where am I tossing this stuff in? So yeah, it's worked out. It's worked out well. Okay, here we go. We're gonna and again, please understand, this is not a bragging thing. You guys, you see my desk. It's a disaster. Imagine if I had all this styrene shit out. It would be awful. Whatever makes it handy makes it dandy. Exactly. So I may end up at this point just cutting another one of those off for the other side and just doing the other side too. Since this is a minor change, I don't need to overthink this one. I don't think it'll impact. Yeah, it won't impact anything. I've got an old card catalog from Somerville Library. So I've got a styrene drawer in that. I'd like to move it to a pegboard over my bench. Yeah, nice. Wow, you got an old card catalog. How big is that? Dude, when I was working at Boston University in their library system, that's what we had. Huge. 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 Yeah, those things were not small. There we go. That's perfect. Let's get that thing thin cemented in place. And then after it's dry, obviously we'll do a little bit of cleanup on it. Let's get nope. Just need to set apply just to push down on this thing just a little bit. There we go. I mean, again, it's interesting. It's simple stuff like that that just creates a much better aesthetic. So again, that's the one I just did, and this is the one on the other side. And if you take a look at all that gapping, a little bit of that filler goes a long way in making it just something look a little bit more less like a toy. Drawers are narrow but deep. Yep. So it's kind of limited what you can store in it, but overall it's great and was free. Free is good. Yeah, they got rid of that shit. Just take it away. Oh yeah, those drawers were like, I don't know, anywhere from like 18 inches, I think approximately, by the size of a like a 3x5 card by 5 inches. Yeah, couldn't do a lot of major storage, but I guess it would be cool for things like maybe pretty cool for things like paintbrushes and some tools, right, Peter? Okay. I should have probably measured this one and done it again, but that's all right. It's going to do it on this side too. It's also oak. So it weighs a ton. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Well, think about what it was holding. You know, you think, oh, how much does a 5 card weigh? Not a lot. A few thousand of them? Yeah, quite a bit. Hey, righty then. Which side did I just do? Right there. Okay. Take off the other leg too. Thank you. Let's drop in this piece of styrene here. On this side, I could even probably go a little bit more, but I think that's all I'm going to need. Just that fills in just enough to give it less visibility inside 60 drawers. Oh, man. Yeah. So, Peter, can I ask what you have stored in there? I'm kind of fascinated now. There we go. That's secured. Excuse me. Let's put away the strip. right. Time check in relation to coffee left. Okay. All right. So those are done. That's done. That's done. This leg, I think, is done. Upper leg, well, like I said, we'll do a little bit of cleanup work. I'm good with all of that. That's looking good. That's fine. Hardware, screws and nails, router bits, table accessories, sculpting stuff, electronic stuff. So much more. Not even model making though. Just the ever. Wow, interesting. I'm just going around the horn here just to see if there's anything else I want to do here. And I think the answer is no. Yes. I call them poop holes, right? I mean, I understand why they do that, right? That way you can put it on a peg or it's ready to go. Personally speaking, no. Can you provide me with a cover? So I'm going to plug that. The question is whether I do that with rod or if I just fill it with putty. I think rod might be easier. It's got a sheeter. It's about 3 millimeter in diameter. Evergreen gotten expensive. My local place charges $4.19 per sleeve. How much were these? I think it depends on the I picked these up when Spare Time was still around. I'm sorry. Some of it was Spare Time, but all these were from Turn 4. These are $3.99. This one here, $4.50. $4.50, $3.99. $4.19 doesn't sound like it's too bad. Tim Harkins, Child of Mecca. Don't get me wrong. This has been years in the making. And then you can also pick up some of the stuff from Wave, which is about the same price when it's ultimately shipped over here, about $4 a package. Child of Mecca, when he uses styrene, I'm not sure if he uses strip, but when he goes to actual sheets, he goes to the same company I went to get the brass that I used for. What fucking model was that? I picked up brass sheet. It might have been for the Spartan. Sorry, guys. So there's an online place that sells sheet and brass and all that other stuff in larger sizes, and you can get it at like almost like in quantity discount. It's a good way to kind of keep your costs down. I just don't know much. I'm not sure I'd go out and buy like 50 strips of something like this. I need that. All right, they got 3.2 millimeter diameter. That's close to what I need, but it does add up. But there's something to be said about the convenience of it, though. This is I look at. To me, I look at styrene and all these materials. It's kind of like tools, right? These are an investment in the hobby. and it's not an inexpensive investment, but think about the stuff that we actually go out and spend like obscene amounts of money on, things like BMC chisels, and Mike talks about his Forrest Ghost talks about his Fordham tool. And again, I'm not discounting the importance of these things and how good they are, but looking at all that stuff and the cost involved, it's a little too large. Try the other side real quickly. I think I still might go to it. Maybe I'll bore it out and just drop it in. These are the investments that we make in the hobby. The other thing about having a lot of this strip and plastic stuff is that it is likely that I will not be. I mean, there are a few sizes obviously that you use more of than other sizes, right? But it's likely that most of this stuff I won't have to replace. So if you make a $4 investment in a package of plastic, maybe it's me. I'm not just doing enough of it now, but it's likely it's going to last you for years. Scale Hobbyist does. Peter, do you order from them, and do you go there to pick up, or do you have it delivered? I'm assuming it's proximity allows you to go pick up. Let me know. I'd like to actually do a field trip up there someday, or just go up there someday. Just haven't had a need. Though that sucks. My understanding is that they are they offer AK paints, which is great. I need somebody who offers AK paints. Fudge. See if this works. Delivered usually only takes a day or two. Yeah. I didn't know they let you pick up. Yeah, last night, I'm not sure if you were listening. So last night on our Patriot meeting, Chris Kizik went up there and walked the site. I think you have to let them know that you can walk it. So you can pick up stuff from there. And I don't know if you pick up if you get the tax break, but you certainly don't have to pay for shipping. But I believe you have to schedule it. So we have I guess a well-regarded, at least in this area, hobby supply place in New Hampshire called the Scale Hobbyist. I don't know much about them. I know a number of our members use them, and they talk very positively about them. And it looks like Peter uses them too. All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, this should work. In theory, this should open this thing up to 3.2 mil, which should allow me to slide this in. Yep, perfect. That's all I needed. They don't have any Gundam or sci-fi kits. Yeah, it's more traditional stuff. And frankly, the Gundam stuff, if I need, I can go to Mecha Warehouse, Gundam Pros. I'm less concerned about the Gundam stuff. I'm much, much more concerned about, okay, where do I get certain traditional tools, or more importantly, the AK stuff? I'd love to pick it up locally. Right now, if I needed to pick up something from AK, I'd probably order it from Michigan Toy Soldier. Great company. I'm not going to vilify them. If I needed VMS stuff, that's where I would end up going. But having some place that actually sells locally paints like that would be great. They're the paints I'm into now. And what paints are you into now? I'm always curious as to what people are using. GHSB 2.0. Here we go. Okay. Just cut a piece and whoops, not with those. I don't with these. My first set of very high quality nippers, love these things to death. I love my Tamiya paint. Tamiya paint's great. I think, and Joe, the reason I like AK is because, like you just said, Tamiya is a brand. The reason, and I say AK because I think of it as a brand, but it covers multiple types. So like exactly AK third generation water-based acrylics, AK real color lacquers. The only thing they don't offer is enamels. Tamiya has a set of enamels. Unfortunately, they're not available in the fucking United States. But Tamiya's water-based acrylics, which I'm actually using to paint the clouds on the diorama, they're fantastic. All the point is, everybody there's generally not a bad paint manufacturer, right? I take it back. I'm not a big fan of Mission. Just gonna say it. I just don't like Mission. AK has enamel weathering products, but they don't have enamel paints. So one of the things that I love about Tamiya, and I think this is something that Joe might agree with, Tamiya, you can, if you like their colors, their acrylic lacquers, I think it's what it is. It's it's like a modified lacquer, but their acrylic paint, they have a matching exact color in enamel. So if you wanted to do something like I wanted to do a deck tan, right? And I don't want to use I needed to use something to do like a reverse wash or to weather with it or whatever, you can get their enamels. Well, if you need, my shop had those. I didn't think those were available in the United States, Joe. That's why you have to go to like places like Sunward Hobbies up in Canada. There we go. I bought into Mission Models hype at first when I was trying to figure out what I liked. Ultimately, I didn't like them. Yeah, Canada, Michigan, same thing. Well, it is the 51st state, right? Okay, not going down this path. Trust me, I was listening to some stuff earlier today that just made my mind explode. But we'll try to table it for either maybe at the very end or just wait until Thursday. It depends on how pissed I get. But yeah, Mission. The other one is All Clad. I don't care. I know that there are people who use All Clad and they're like, hey, All Clad is great and everything. It's like, whatever. You can keep it. It's like, to me, All Clad, just, I've tried their top coats. I've got a few of their paints. I'm going to try a couple of them because I bought them already. But generally speaking, it's like, I don't, it's the thing with like All Clad and Mission is that they're such specific use paints. It's almost like the stars have to align to get them to work right. But if the stars align, they come out great. Why do I want to do that? Years ago, when I was using like water-based acrylics and airbrushing, basically that's all I was using. And somebody said to me, it's like, you might want to try acrylics. It's like, I'd rather not go to that. I mean, lacquers. They said, you know what? Give them a try. And I said, why? He says, they're easy. That was their response. They're easy. And the answer is, yeah, they are. It's like you can't fuck up a lacquer. You really can't. I take it back. Can you fuck them up? Yes, but you have to work at it. I have to stay away from heavier solvent-based stuff. I really like to try lacquers, but my wife said, yeah, 100%, Peter. And unfortunately, with stuff like that, as I've got the same situation, I've got an extraction system, basically an airbrush, booth and everything like that. However, you know what? If I start doing a lot of this stuff, it doesn't get it all out. Thankfully, I'm in a basement. It generally doesn't travel upstairs. But yeah, you have to be cognizant of that stuff. So it's tip trying heaven for me. I'm sorry, Peter. I'm sorry about that. That sucks. And I think maybe this is another one of those, like we're just talking about in terms of investments, investing like in a good extraction system, like maybe you get like an industrial extraction system. So for the long timers here, the guys who were here, like, when Chris from, was Chris from Wisconsin or Minnesota? When he was on regularly, he was in the hobby. Man, I gotta tell you, I've never seen somebody flip that switch as hard as he did. Great guy, lovely conversationalist, just a genuinely really enjoyable person, right? So Chris was going out and buying all sorts of Gundam models, master grades. He was doing a lot of the Verkas stuff. He never airbrushed, but he put together like a hardcore. Like I remember seeing the videos and the construction of it. He put together a hardcore paint booth. I'm wondering if it ever got fired up or what he ended up doing with it. I mean, the amount of engineering he put into that thing was obscene. All right, I'm going to cut back on this a little bit more. Hey, Clint, good morning. What's going on, my friend? Happy Saturday to you. All right, let's do a little bit of cleanup on this thing. Hang in there, just getting things in order, trying to figure out what I'm going to display. What I'm going to display again, and what I'll stay in boxes. Okay, Clint, so can I ask a question about that? So how many models do you have constructed? And I'm assuming there's enough finished that you don't have the ability to display it all in a reasonable way. Is that correct? Clint. All right, let's get that. Let's get this butt plug back in here. There we go. Stupid hole filled. I decided the Dom will officially be retired and displayed it in my glass. It's off with the sneakers as a showpiece. It's being retired from being displayed at places. So, okay, so you can display the Dom. Okay, so I see it's no longer a traveling model. It's now going to have its permanent home in the Detolf. Nice. How many Detolfs do you have? I'm assuming one. Okay. Ooh, hello. Forcing itself out. There's a little bit of goo that came out. I'll clean that up afterward. He's gonna sit at home and relax. Nice. Cozying up to the sneaker. So, okay, so Clint, question about the sneaker. I have 4 details. Wow, okay. Nice. Question about the sneaker. So, do you ever wear that sneaker? So if you put it next to the Dom, like is that shoe permanently part of that, like a display thing, or do you ever wear that shoe? Sit at home and relax. Kicking back. Macking away. Okay. I'm debating now whether I'm gonna. I'll run. I've never worn them and never will. Now they are just a display item. Nice. Clint, I'm actually curious about this because to me, a shoe is something that you wear, but I guess now they've become such almost artistic in some ways, right? And collectible in others. Is there value in that shoe? Like what you paid X, and is there like a larger value to it now? Hey, Tom, good morning. All right. So if you take a look at the backpack right now, those thrusters that are on there, they're actually molded into the plastic. And in fact, you can actually, because I can't, you can see where I did some repair work on them to get them to look good. I guess the question is now, do I want to bore those out and then just drop in better thrusters? Because I'm going to have to bore them anyway, because if I'm not going to leave it like that, that looks like ass. Better thrusters, because I'm going to have to bore them anyway, because if I'm not going to leave it like that, that looks like ass. My bin of thrusters in just a second, my little tub of thrusters. I'm curious as to Clint's response here about those shoes and whether, you know, if they're collectible as well, to the point where they've actually gone up in price. Not that it matters, but I'm kind of curious. There can be this silhouette is extremely popular and desirable in the shoe game market. Wow, cool. Nice. Wow, it actually focused for once. I know. Go figure. It's only when it's like hardcore white. Let's see if it does it now. Yeah, see, if it's so white, it's blindingly white, it will not focus. Okay, I lied. At this moment, it looked at me and said, F you, George. I'm going to focus just because you think I'm not going to. Yeah, righty. Geo focus. Well, the camera focused for a little bit. I love these things. IC sockets. I love these little guys. Fabulous little thrusters. Okay. Pulling out a couple of matching sets here to see what might work. I also have somewhere, I also have a bunch of aftermarket ones that I picked up. Okay. Got that, got that, got that, got that. What's this? How you looking? How you looking? That and that. Oops. I have a ton of those, but mostly I use them for mounting. Yeah. Well, they make great thrusters too. They're great little detail ads. That was who did I learn that from? I think that might have been from Tim Harkins from Child of Mecca. That's a nice one. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of thrusters. These might be a little too big. Oh, we'll leave them out. Okay, I think we got most of what I need here to show. Try out a couple of them. I love saving stuff like this. Look at that thruster. That's just so cool. Almost looks like a barrel. Yeah, right. Let's try out a few of these and see where we go. Nope. Yep. I'm gonna start with these. Yeah, see, these are nice, except that these also have bored out a little bit. We'll say, as it is to retire the kit, it makes me excited to design the next one and make it better. So the cycle of creativity continues. Absolutely. So Clint, are you working on or at least visualizing what the next one is? And will it also be based on a shoe? Has that starting to kind of ignite the fires a little bit? No, I don't like the exterior surfaces are a little too plain. Those are nice, but they're too small. Ooh, I have an idea. Oh, you know what? I got an idea. Need to finish the Strike Dog, then I can focus on Gundams again. Yeah. How close are you getting that Strike Dog done? I'm looking forward to seeing that. PatCon, maybe? Yeah, make a Gundam on. Exactly. I love the fact that, it's fabulous when you see people kind of walking by and going, why is there a shoe there on a display table? September 29th. Sunday, September 29th. That's it. Finish the clear lenses and give it a final Mac. Wow, it's really close. Clint, have you been working on it at all, or absolutely not? It just kind of got to that state, and then the transition allowed you to just didn't give you the time. Okay, not happy with those, so we're gonna put those away. I've got aftermarket thrusters too. I just don't know where they are right now. I'm trying. I don't really care. I'm gonna bore these things out. And in fact, before I forget, let's break one of these out. Brief time as a sneaker designer. Did you really, Peter? No. For whom? Everything just got packed up and all hobby stuff took a backseat. So yeah. What's going on, Lucas? Good morning. Seb. Welcome, my friend. How are you? How's everyone? Doing very, very well. So thank you for asking. How are you? How's your Sunday going so far? So I'm gonna pull out a couple of these. It's no harm, no foul. I'm gonna burrow right into these thrusters right here. I'm gonna bore them out. And then I'm gonna drop in an IC and see how it looks. And if it doesn't look good, I'll replace them. Mr. Turtle Man, doing fine. Thank you. Fine, just being attacked by mosquitoes all night. Ooh. Oh my. Ooh, open window type of thing, Seb. Is that the reason for that? Ugh. Ouchie. All right. Drill bits. One, two. Yes, we're good. Let's do this. In fact, at some point, I may actually not even use. Actually, no. I have to use the drill bits. Let's see where it goes. I may use the spin blades on these things in a little bit. Going off-road adventuring today. Nice. Motorized or otherwise? It was a consultancy. We did stuff for a bunch of different companies. Cool. Peter, are you still involved in that company or otherwise? The company that was, I guess, did I glue this thing on? No. It goes. I don't think I glued it on. Backpack feels like it's coming off. There it goes. I'll have signal, but I'll try to stream. Nice. Automotive. Ew, motorized. Ew, fun. Sounds good. Have a good time there, Lucas. It was my first job out of college. It was a sweatshop. Oh, wow. Are they still in business? Okay. It's going to be fun. Let's actually break out some of the spin blades too. So I'm looking for specific ones. Those are the ones right there. I hope they went out of business. Wow. Flagpole, Knob Trail, 2 hours from me in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Nice. Is this going to be a family outing or a friend outing? Okay, we're going to start with, we're going to skip on that. We're going to go to this guy right here. Bore in a 1 millimeter hole. family, wife, and I are, and her aunt and uncle. Nice. Aunt and uncle have a Jeep, and they've been before. Sweet. Man, I hope the heat wave has fast and the temperature go back to normal. Yeah. So you're experiencing a pretty nasty heat wave. And Seb, may I ask, is it not just heat, but do you also have a lot of humidity? Heat's one thing, but heat and humidity are a totally different thing. And then throw in mosquitoes on top of that, and it's like, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Okay, we're through. We're going to do one at a time. Size it up, go to 1.5. Well, we've gone into some material. Gone to the epoxy at this point. Let's hope we don't break the epoxy. That would suck. But if we do, again, what's the worst that happens? Replace it. Patch it, replace it. Wow. They're still going. Wow. Peter, only the good die young. The shitballs last forever. Yeah, I live on a coastal town, so it's humidity plus heat. Oh, yeah. Oh, Seb, I'm sorry. And I do hope it clears up sooner rather than later. Oof. Sizing up to a 2, and then we're going to go in with the, I think we're going to go in with the spin blades after this. We shall see. We shall see. Everything is still integral. Only the good die young. Just did a 2. This may not be a good idea. We'll see. It is our last day. Chicks dig scars and glory lasts forever. The replaces. Yep. Chicks really did dig scars. Right. We're going to go to the 2.5. We're just going to continue to size this thing up. Just keep drilling out. We're now going off center, which sucks. But I'll be able to bore some of that out later using my boring tool. That'll fit. Should fit. Maybe not. What time we got? Got another half hour. Well, Nick should at least be excited. I'm not sanding right now. Almost there, Well, What about the Virginia Creeper Trail? What about it? What about it, Ray? Okay. Leave the tools there. Let's see if this will fit. Cool. So what I'm doing is, of course, why do we want to focus? Focus. Stupid shit. There it goes. I don't know why. It's like, okay, let's try this again. There it goes. We're boring out that thruster. I patched that up a while ago because what I wanted to do is I wanted actually to keep this original part. Part of my goal was to take the kit and just not do a lot to it. But this was pre-Spartan days that I made that decision. I just woke up. I don't even know what's going on. That's okay. Been up for a few hours and I don't know what the fuck's going on, Ray. It's actually not coming out too bad. As long as I don't do damage to if I don't crack the epoxy, this should be fine. First time creeper trail, you call it? The creeper trails were in the woods behind the playground. I have no idea what a creeper trail is. Went to Hog Heaven. He said we need to buy more stuff so he doesn't have to sell it online. He said, who did he say this to? Right. Boring. Wonder if Nick left. I know he had to get ready for work, so I'm sure he may have packed it up. To me, he said I wasn't buying enough stuff. The Virginia Creeper Trail is off of 81. There's a Captain D's at the exit. Oh, nice. Guess that sounds good. Huh. It's actually not looking too bad. Almost to the point where I might just leave it be like this. I kind of like that little lip on the inside. I'm not going to lie. I may just leave it like that. Yeah, I do like that. Let's see if we can get it to focus. So you can see there's like a lip on the inside of that. I actually kind of dig that. Not going to lie. I dig it. I'm not sure that an IC is going to look okay in there. I think it's too large an opening for an IC. So we're not going to do ICs. Should probably just leave it like that. I think I will. I think I will. Now let's replicate on the other side and we're good. Wrong first letter. All right, let's get the tools put away. Yeah, that's correct. It's going to start drilling out again. Drilling and a boring. Anybody working on a model right now? Anybody at the model bench? I was there a couple of weeks ago. I get around. Oof, this is off center badly. Ooh, this one I missed. This one we're going to have to work on with the hobby knife. I scribed one line before I left for work. Really? Nick, are you on the road now? Are you actually on heading to work now? Sorry, brother. And Nick, you're in progress, yeah. I don't mean to take you away from, especially if you're driving or don't want to disrupt. How's the family doing? You were saying that they were ill earlier in the week, and I'm hoping everybody's back to being okay. Okay, I think we're almost getting there now. I'm in line for food. And I was going to say, what kind of food, Nick? I was going to ask the same question. Picking up like a Dunkin' Donuts bagel or something like that. Dunkin' Bagel. 1.4 million sail plane and a pretty good size Fogger Albatross I'm working on. Right this very instant? I love it. I'm out of line for food. Yeah, me too. Let's put away the tools. I may still be effing this thing up, so make sure, yeah, I gotta continue to move it over as much as possible. Taco Bell breakfast? Oh God, I hope not. Hold it. Taco Bell? He's from Texas. I don't think there's a Taco Bell in Texas. Filling up my truck with dead dino babies. I love it. Were they babies? The boy's still sick. He was the last to get sick. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. I'm hoping it all clears up soon. Bacon and cheese bagel. Beagle? You're having a beagle? We have Taco Bell everywhere. Real? Yeah. I mean, come on, honestly. Why would anybody go to Taco Bell if you're down in Texas? Going the wing spars into the Fokker, doing transmitter programming on the glider. So staying busy while the glue dries. Nice. Just like a White Castle, not in California. Exactly. What's the point? Okay. There we go. Getting closer. Taco Bell breakfast is the go. Oh, God. Yes, a dog. Babies make for higher octane. Do they really? Oh, I did not know that. Wow, that conversation can spiral like crazy. I think we're gonna leave that one be. Taco Bell, yeah. I don't know. I think it's like it's like any food, right? Once you've had something, of quality, you can't go back to the fast food variety. Yay, no cracking. Taco Bell. Got the hit for higher octane. I love that comment. Okay. We've got one more bit to go, and then we're going to bore. What time is it? Oh, yeah. 15 minutes? Yeah, no problem. Should make a bumper sticker. Yeah. Well, let's just say Taco Bell and pizza places are the safest places to eat on average. Really? I might have to argue that one, but maybe. I mean, I don't know if statistically that's correct. Taco Bell being the safest restaurant to eat at? Just made a bumper. Should make a bumper sticker. Yes, you should. Hoping to get the biplane done for the big World War I meet in Ellington. Dawn Patrol is always a good time. Nice. It sounds like it would be a fun time if that's your dealio. Yeah, perfectly centered. I love it. Oh, shit. Wow. Came awfully close to thinning out the plastic at the top. So I went a little deep on it. I went a little too high on the top. So you got the thruster cone, right? Right on the edge near the base. I came very close to puncturing through. Could it be fixed? Yes. Do I really want to do that? No. So we're going to stop there. We have now officially bored material. I'm sorry, drilled material out. Now we're going to bore it. Let's put away the tools. A, B, C, D. Let's see. I missed a few things here. I thought the Waffle House was safest. Could be. Certainly tastier. One of the drills they use for the channel will make short work. Yeah, probably would. Short work of everything, including my house. And it comes in bags and are boiled to temp at Taco Bell. That's the theory. This is the safest in the hurricane, but you may get into a fist fight. Yep. Waffle House is the standard hazard level for the United States. Really? Oh, look at that. All right. Let's continue to... Ooh. Yeah. Really thin that that wall significantly. So just going to have to be very careful here. Getting closer. All right. Off to hike. Laters. Tom, have a good one, brother. Enjoy. I'm standing in my heart. It's okay, Nick. Nice. Standing in my heart. My little heart of hearts. I went Ryobi shopping yesterday. Oh, nice. Shopping for a Ryobi. Getting close. Excuse me. Closer still. Good enough. And there we go. We're done. Happy with that. Ooh, nothing broke, right? Nothing broke. Nothing broke. A cool cordless compressor. Really? In fact, almost everything really. Everything really. Nice. Really? Cordless compressor. Is it USB powered? One of these days I'm going to break out. This little what they call it, a compressor for airbrushing. With battery starter pack, I got free vacuum. Sounds kind of fun. I got a free vacuum. Need to attach a... what do I need to attach here? Get an attachment. Try that out at some point. Okay. It's battery power Ryobi. Other brands have battery inflator, but Ryobi has compressor with tank. Nice. Compressor. Wow. Battery powered. All right. Let's get this backpack back on. Or I guess we could leave it off and just get it ready for primer. Let's get a little bit of thin cement on it just to get a little bit of cleanup going on here. Hello, what's on my leg? There we go. Awesome. That's ready to go. Okay, the Toxic Avenger trailer dropped. Toxic Avenger. Like a remake? Crazy stuff. Looks really good. The movie? The trailer? Conversation we had last night on our Patriot meeting was towards the end. It's like not to take away from existing properties of any type, book, movie, whatever, but can Hollywood please come up with something unique? Gotta tell you, it's like, all right, so how long ago did How to Train Your Dragon come out, the original movie? And now we have basically a remake of it. I mean, honestly. All that garbage. Just lower movie budgets and take more chances. Yeah. Peter Dinklage plays Toxic. Great. I hope it does well and people enjoy it. I will likely pass. Peter brings up an interesting point: live action, not remake. So the How to Train Your Dragon thing, it's a remake. It's kind of like the Disney princess movies. It's like they were cartoons. You remake it into a live action film. It's a remake. It's the same story. So no. Recommendation for a book if anybody's interested, because it takes place during the again, one of the best times in Hollywood. Not the golden age, but I guess the silver age. Hollywood from the late 60s through the early 70s, when you could walk into a studio, literally, if you're a filmmaker, and just say, I want to make a movie. How much is it going to be? Well, we're thinking it's going to be is it less than $1 million? Yes, here you go. And that was it. Go make your thing. We'll market it, but just go make your movie, right? And now those days are behind us. So to your point, Peter's point, yeah, how about giving less money to create more creativity? The only thing to that is it won't sell, because we want to see more How to Train Your Dragons and Toxic Avengers and God knows whatever the remake is out there now. And Joe, please understand, I'm happy that you're excited for this film. To me, it just once again just continues to indicate the direction that movie making is going, which is, at least here in the United States, like our politics, it's going down the shitter. Anyway. George? Yes, honey.
I make breakfast.
All right. I'm gonna start wrapping up here in just a little bit. How to Train Your Gundam. Oh, I agree. And there's a lot of the Gundam stuff, like this new GQX thing. I likely will not be watching it. Nicolas Cage and did Willy Wonderland. Was great. Okay. Again, I'm not taking away from performances and improvements or anything like that. I'm just talking about it is easier to continue to dip into that same well and find ways of improving, whatever improving is, rather than coming up with something completely brand new. Because let's put it this way: you walk into we were talking about like places to go get food. The likelihood that you're going to walk into a name brand place to get food is higher because you know what? I know that brand. Whereas, so I really want to risk trying something different. People are risk averse when it comes to new things. When you're putting out millions of dollars to make a film, you want to recoup your money. I get it. There was a time when people were recouping their money. Not always, not always. Okay, let's get let's do a little spin around here. Let's see what we got. Excited to see it with my daughter. Hey, enjoy. No one, again, I want people to understand. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying one shouldn't. I'm saying, great, go enjoy. I want something new. The redipping into stories and not the storytelling, taking more risk on the story. Taking more risk on telling us something unique, trying to make something unique, I continue to, the example that I use, and now I know it's an older example, but I'm trying to look at newer films too, just to see, okay, what's out there. I've got a list of newer films like The Sound of Metal, Drive My Car, stuff like that. That's just new. I need to see something different. I need to see something different. Now, if you got kids, it's a different conversation. Kids, you got to do what they want to do and whatever's comfortable for them, that's fine. But as an adult, I need to see something different. Okay, so real quickly, we've got this leg completely done. And by done, meaning, I take it back, I just got to do a little bit of cleanup. I actually got the cleanup done too. The thrusters, I'm sorry, what they call it's yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those things on the back. With those things done, I got the plate on the inside. I'll start working on the other leg now that we've got the backpack done. Where did I just put the backpack? Now we got all that bored out. That looks much better. Hit it up with paint. It'll look good. I got some gap filling done behind the knees. That looks good. Just got to get some cleanup on that. Jordan wants something different, heavy metal live action. No, not heavy metal live action. Anybody heard the film Sound of Metal? It's about a heavy metal drummer that loses his hearing. And it's one that's been sitting kind of in my my cart to watch for a while now. But stuff like that, kind of a unique story with superb acting is kind of what I'm going for. All right, so with that, okay, I'm gonna stop this now so I can go upstairs, have breakfast with my wife. Anyway, my friends, thank you for being on this morning. I do appreciate it. Good times, good conversations, as always. So go out there and do good. Have a nice weekend. Peter, you as well, brother. Thanks for popping in. Guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world. Nick, good luck today, brother. Hopefully your day will be nice and peaceful and smooth. And hope your family feels better. Later, Seb. Later, Joe. Later, Lucas. How to train an influencer. Are there influencers here? I don't think so. Anyway, guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. It's a crazy world. It's a every day it's getting worse, and it's up to us to try to make it, to return it to that goodness, that kindness that we once had. Brighten somebody's day, make somebody's day, make somebody smile, do something right for them. Don't vilify, don't lie, don't beat the shit out of them, don't take food out of their mouths, don't do any of that. Just do good for people, okay? Later, Clint. Have a good one, brother. So anyway, with that, I'll be back on tomorrow morning, same time, same channel, working on the freebie, getting closer to getting it done and hoping to get some of the paint on it. Kind of getting excited for wrapping up some of these projects. It'll be good. But anyway, in the meantime, do good, and I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.